We got Cliffjumper, the red-bodied Transformer. There won't be any Transformer games tonight if you forget the drinks. It's the New Year's party, so don't forget them. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're getting ready to wrap up the month with the last of the Gamer Edition figures. This is Cliffjumper. Now, of course, a few of you who have played the game before will definitely point out to me that Cliffjumper didn't appear in War for Cybertron. Well, in a way he did. He appeared in the handheld version of the game for the Nintendo Switch. No, not the Switch, the DS, excuse me. So Hasbro used that as a technicality to say that they're still making them for War for Cybertron, just they picked a different game. And it also gave them an excuse to use their patented cheapness, because basically Cliffjumper is just a repaint and retool of Bumblebee. But if nothing else, at least when it came to casting, they did a decent job for Cliffjumper. Cliffjumper is voiced by veteran game voice actor Nolan North, who most of you will know is the voice of Nathan Drake in the Uncharted video games. But he also has voiced Deadpool in numerous of the Marvel video games, and probably does a lot better of a job than Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion. And he's also been in the DC universe for comic games as well, because he voices the Penguin and Black Mask in the Batman Arkham game series, which is one of my favorites. So, all in all, at least they got somebody interesting to play Cliffjumper. It just, unfortunately, it's not going to translate as well on the toy. Alright, to get started, let's take a look at his backdrop. It again shows another area of Cybertron. This is basically to show off Cliffjumper's mission, where he tries to protect Omega Supreme from a Decepticon attack. It's an interesting background, I'll give it that. It's not quite as colorful as a lot of the others, but I like it. And now we'll bring Cliffjumper back out here. And like we stated earlier, Cliffjumper is a retool of Bumblebee to the point that he even has the same accessories. We got the sword. We got the rifle, and we got the cannon. And of course, it should go without saying, we got the detachable arm. But we'll say it anyways, that way nobody can claim I didn't tell them that. And of course, we'll at least do this much for you. We'll show you off on how to attach the weapons after we pick the one up off the floor. No, Larry, that wasn't the cheese dip. Larry's enjoying the pre-New Year's parties. At any rate, you can attach the gun and both guns to these holes here on Cliffjumper's back. Or you can put the sword back here as well if you want. But I'm just doing this in a way that allows you to see that Cliffjumper can hold all of his accessories. So it allows you, my fans, and anybody who happens to have the toy, you can decide how you want to display him. Now, of course, we'll take a look at his articulation. Cliffjumper can turn his head from side to side. And it's on a very small ball joint, so we'll rock up and down a bit. His arms can be raised up about so far, and they rotate at the shoulder all the way around, especially as you avoid the kibble. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe battle grip. You can twist Cliffjumper at the waist, so he'll get some dance moves going when the party gets started here. You can spread his legs apart into almost full splits. He does have a good thigh cut going for him. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee even greater than 90 degrees. So all in all, about what you'd expect from a retool and a repaint. Alright, we'll transform Cliffjumper. We'll try to see if we have an easier time than we did with Bumblebee. Again, you start out by folding his hands inwards, so it'll get the wheels exposed. And then rotate them so that the wheels come down. Separate the chest from his body and get it up over his head. I said get it up over his head. There we go. Fold out the fenders a bit and fold down this hood cover so it's in position. Straighten out his arms and then bend them upwards at the elbow. Then we gotta kind of get them to fold down here at the shoulder blade. So that they get down and under. And then also rotate the shoulder pad itself. This takes a little bit of effort because we don't really have a whole lot of clearance to do that. There we go. Then we just got to straighten out the arms so that the wheels are once again facing outwards. Make sure that the fenders are cleared. And then bring them up and snap them into place inside. Just like that. Then we're going to come back here. We'll rotate his body at the hip. And then while we're at it, we'll get the upper body lowered down a bit so that everything's connecting up. Bend the body up at the hips a bit so that it rests inside the car. Come around here and fold the legs outwards like so. And then start to bend them down around the knee. And then get them in real close and tight. So that way you can fold the feet inwards. And of course the feet have to clear the legs. And then you'll fold down these pieces. And again, these are on thin plastic, so they will pop off very easily. Or at least they did on my Bumblebee. I haven't tried it with Cliffjumper. Fold the feet like so. And then we fold everything up front. And try to get everybody to connect together. And we're trying. And then, of course, once we've done that, we can lower the rear portion and try to connect it above the fenders. But Cliffjumper's also being just as much of a pain, so I'm not going to fight with it anymore. And just like with Bumblebee, you can store the weapons, putting the rifle underneath. Just like that. Strap the sword onto his backside. And connect the cannon to the roof. Connect the cannon to the roof, facing the right way. And there we have it. Now once again, we're running into the same issues. Not only is there a repaint and a retool when the line hasn't been out a year, but it's also one that's a pain in the butt to transform properly. It doesn't want to lock into position the way it should, and it's just a frustrating toy to have. So as you can imagine, while I didn't care for Bumblebee, I don't really care for Cliffjumper either. It also, by doing that, gives me a sour and damp opinion of the Studio Series Gamer Edition. Why are they going with a repaint and a retool so early in the line? I mean, it's bound to happen sooner or later. I know that. I accept it. But I don't really like and accept it when the toy that it's based off of was released in the same year. However, we know it's probably a coming thing. They have announced, at least at the time that this video was done, that Starscream is going to be done. So that means we'll probably get retools and repaints to be Thundercracker and Skywarp. And anybody else they can think of to do that with. I'm not sure what I think of the Gamer Editions. I'll likely continue to gather them as they come out, so that I can review them for all of you, but I'd like to see some of the more impressive characters. I wouldn't mind seeing them do the sequel game so that we can get some of the more interesting looking ones, like Bruticus and Grimlock. But only time will tell. At any rate, that's my look at the Gamer Edition version of Cliffjumper. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you love the content we show here on this channel, I would definitely appreciate a like, share, comment, and subscribe. 2024 is going to be a big year for the Transformer line, mainly due to the fact that the line turns the big 4-0 next year. So throughout next year, we're going to be taking a look at the toys that came out in 1984, plus continue our normal regular reviews. Because in January and February, I'm going to cover some more of the last of the Legacy Evolution line, thanks to a little bit of dumb luck. And maybe a little help from some of my friends. But at any rate, I do hope that you'll all look forward to it. This is Sparkster1701, wishing all of you to have a happy and prosperous new year. Larry and I advise you all not to go out and celebrate too much, and we hope to see you again in 2024. We'll catch you all later. Happy New Year!